You doing, bro? Hi everybody. So this is the second episode of the podcast. Yo, it's been a long time coming. First podcast, yo, we were in that lake and like my bad guys like that, like it was so windy. But now we're in our friend's house and I'm not sure if you guys hear, but yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of noise. Yo, we're in another room recording right now. We're in my friend's bedroom. And I'm currently here with like one of my closest friends. I've known this guy since maternelle. His name is Parsa, and yeah, would you be able to introduce yourself? He's eating haichu right now.
Hi everybody, my name is Parsa.
Okay.
Um, I'm 18. I'm in CJUP.
Okay.
My
Yo, it's fine. Yo, we're not even gonna cut this out. This is all just one take. Okay, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Like, yo, we're gonna get to know you throughout this podcast
Okay.
with the questions I ask. Okay. So yo, like, I already. This is always the first question that I ask for every person I interview, and this is just a general question. But eventually, it's gonna get more like intimate and just more based on you. So the okay, bro. Okay, yo, yeah,
that's just part of the
yeah. No, that's a part of the charm of the interview. Okay, so yo, so the first question is, what is one thing you're currently looking forward to?
mm, honest. One thing I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
is just how my life's gonna be
yeah,
in a couple of years.
yeah.
Um, I really like to envision myself like a couple of year time.
Yeah.
Like with like having a family.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah,
Having
yeah, that's
children
good.
and stuff like
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, yo, yeah, no, yeah, that's a pretty good thing. Um, and yo, so okay, we might circle back on that again. But yo, so like this is another question I have, like just to get more deeper into it. So we already talked about this at the gym, but out of all the reels we've sent each other, what are your top three in order, like K-pop reels?
that. Top three in order
Yeah,
K-pop
yeah.
reels.
Out of all the reels we sent each other.
If I remember like my last list
Yeah.
correctly, it was like number 3.
Yeah.
That's part of the charm, bro.
It's part of the charm. Yeah, yeah. No, you just take your time.
Uh, my mind went blank.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But yo, for me personally, I would like if I had to go first, yo, my third place would 100% be we already talked about this before. It was like when Momo went like when Momo
Oh
said
yeah,
like
yeah,
said
yeah.
like she was like on a call, she was on live stream with Sana, and after she was like there's a person that said I love you Momo, thank you, and then after that Sana was like me wa me, and after she said I love you Sana, thank you, like that's my third one. Second place, I would 100% say it would be because yo, this is the new ranking. I remember before, I don't know what my second place was, but my second one is like that girl that it's not the it's like they did a trend, the
Oh yeah, I
and then
heard
after
of
there's
it. I
like a
remember.
girl, yeah, but there's a song, and then after it's like a girl, she's on stage with a microphone, and after there's like her friend in the back that's like moving her hands like this, and after
Mhm.
she's like doing like a little dance. Do you know what I'm talking about? I
I think
sent it to
so.
you before.
I think so. Maybe
And then the first one we already noticed. It's Che one, like when she gets like that cheetah cake.
the cheetah cake.
Yeah, and then after that, like she starts like going like this because it's like so cute. She's like, and then after that, she like takes the hat and she puts it on and off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my personal three, bro. How about you?
My personal 3.
I know one of them was the Che one, like like when she starts crying.
Yeah, yeah. It was like when they made their debut or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
After,
But yo, did you know? I'm not sure if I ever told you about this. Yo,
Yeah.
there was an actual secret member. There's a
Yeah,
member
yeah,
that was
you
in
showed
Le,
me, yeah,
yeah,
on
Le
the live
surfing for. Oh yeah, I already showed you. She was in Le surfing for 18 days, and then she got kicked out for
for
a
bullying. Right?
bullying scandal. Yeah, that's pretty interesting to think about. Yeah. Okay, what are your other two?
Other two. Hmm. Other two. Wow. Uh, Probably some New Jeans stuff.
New jeans? Yeah,
I can't really. I
yeah.
remember last time I said it was like the honey clip where she
The
was
honey?
like,
What was she saying?
like I have long beautiful hair.
Oh
Long,
yeah, yeah,
long
yeah.
blonde
And then
hair.
she likes it, and that was in the Super Shy one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually pretty good though. Okay, but yo, Okay, now next question though. How about the top three K-pop idols? Like this is more easier.
Top three.
Yeah,
Okay.
top three. Like in order though. I'd have to be in order.
Any K-pop group?
Yeah, any K-pop group.
I remember mentioning this before when we went
Yeah.
to the gym, but Sakura from Les Seraphim has
Yeah.
been growing on to me.
She would be a three.
She'll be my number three. Then number two, okay, so number two would be yeah, like classic it would be Heirin.
Heirin, yeah.
And number one has to be Han. I have to stay loyal.
Okay. Claim wise. Yeah, no, cause yo, I remember. Didn't you say that your
Locked
face
in,
was
bro.
wavering? I remember, but I remember for like a week though, like
Yeah,
low key,
yeah.
like yeah. Okay, but yo, for me personally, I'll say my number three. I'd have to put, Chaewon to be honest. Number two, Geo from Twice, and then number one,
Momo.
no. Actually, no. I'll swap. I'll still swap it though, cause I'll actually do Chaewon third. Second, I'll put Momo, and then first Geo. So
Gio?
yeah, that's the OG. Okay, and also yo, by the way, because we were just talking about this whole K-pop thing, and yo, we sent each other a lot of K-pop reels in general.
Yeah.
But like, what was from what, if you could remember correctly, what was your first exposure to like just the whole K-pop scene, and how did you actually grow into liking it? Because I remember before, bro. You remember when it was mainly just me and
Yeah,
Lexana that like that used to
Yeah.
enjoy it, and after everybody was just calling it fruity.
Yeah.
But now like everybody's actually slowly starting to tap in.
Yeah. I remember it started, I think you started sending reels to
Yeah.
Ed maybe?
Yeah,
But that was like during the summer, right?
yeah. But honestly, if it's still green,
Yeah.
it is.
So yeah, you were starting to send me reels and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then I remember like you mentioning to Ed that
Yeah.
like, or Ed mentioning to you that ever since he started opening one, like
Yeah.
it kept on coming in his
Yeah.
feed.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
So like I wanted to stay strong for a bit.
Yeah.
Like eventually like
You just-
curiosity got the best of me. But even at then, like I wasn't that super interested.
yeah.
But then I remember like eventually like in the car,
Yeah.
like he would like
Yeah,
on the
just
way
kept-
to the gym,
Yeah.
he
You
would
just
play,
kept playing it.
he would play some K-pop songs.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. But yeah, I remember at first, you know, like soft I remember in the car, this guy was so against K-pop. I remember before.
yeah,
And I remember we used to play like Hatsune Miku,
yeah,
but eventually he transitioned into K-pop, and I remember he used to find it as like bad as like Drain Gang for him.
really?
Yeah, and then eventually he grew into it, and then now like for example for him he still finds Drain Gang trash.
Yeah,
I think that like he'll actually never get into, but yo, now K-pop I'm happy he got into though.
yeah.
Okay, so also next question. Yeah, so we're talking about K-pop, but like it wasn't something that like you were always into, but like just talking about like the past.
Yeah.
So let's say you could give advice to your high school self back in Sec 1, what would it be and why?
I can Sec 1.
Yeah.
I can Sec 1 would be. I can Sec 1 would just be to like be more likable. I don't
Be
know.
more likable? What do you mean?
I don't know, cause like back then I think
Would
I
you
was
say
trying
you're
to
a
be
lone
cool and
wolf?
mysterious. I don't know, and like over the
Yeah.
years I came and realized like no one gives a fuck.
That's so true. No, I could actually relate to that, Yeah, but I feel like in a way everybody can relate to that because at the same time, like, think about it, like, okay, I can, bro, I'm just screaming like crazy. Okay, but so like, I realized too, like, back in Sec 1, like, that's I feel like something we tried to like, not everybody, but me personally, I tried tapping into as well, like trying to be like cool and mysterious, but like in a way, I feel like that built walls. In a way, like that built walls, and I feel like it led to me not even like getting really close to the people around me. And that would 100% be the same advice too. It's like just to actually just enjoy actually interacting with people. Because I'm not sure if you felt the same way too. We already talked about this before, but remember back in Sec 5?
Yeah.
People, even though we weren't really like throughout from Sec 1 to Sec 4. I feel that everybody was just forming their own friend groups and cliques and all that, and that's completely fine. But I feel that everybody in a way they were trying to like, I don't know, they were trying to be more like, it was hard to like not everybody was like blending in. You get what I mean? Like I feel like back in Sec 5 of Jean 23 to me felt like Jean C. Like Jean C, like primary school, everybody was friends with each other and everybody was talking. Sec 1 and Sec 4, I feel like
Everyone
people
was
had,
more like open. Yeah.
yeah, Sec 5, people were more open, and I feel like low key towards the end, everybody was just friends with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, from Sec 1 to Sec 4, I feel like a lot of people, but of course, including me, like, I'm not like innocent.
Hmm.
I feel like we all had like, in a way, like an ego. And
Yeah.
we all had like, we were all trying to like put up like these fronts just because we were afraid of getting judged.
Yeah.
Like, in the end, like, you gotta realize, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, like, there's so many people that, like, for example, like, um, yeah, no, there's just so many people that I see, especially now being in John Abbott, and like this, because like Jean Mentois, like you think like, oh yeah, yo, like I remember we used to talk about it. We were like, we used to always not, we used to always talk about it. We used to say like, oh yeah, Gentil, like we knew everybody, but Jean Mentois don't know any, like we only know like our friend group.
Yeah.
But yo, I'd say like it even got in a way worse in John Abbott. Yo, like I thought like in high school I knew only my close friends and I didn't know anybody.
Hmm.
But bro, John Abbott, like you're gonna see a person once and then never see them again.
Hmm.
And the thing is that I feel that I should have yeah, if me personally answering this question, if I could get advice to my second self, is probably just to not be afraid to just like to just be more positive and just be more open, yeah,
Yeah.
to other people. Because bro, like I feel like I missed out on, at the same time I'm happy like staying, like I'm happy that I stuck with the same friends that I did.
Yeah.
Because like at the same time I see myself hanging out with you guys for like many years to come.
Hmm.
But bro, like there's I feel like there's a lot of opportunities that I
Yeah.
to meet like just new
Also
people.
feel like I missed out a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. And it was just over just like ego and just pride in a way.
Yeah.
And the thing is that yeah, like in John Abbott too, I remember, yo, I'm not sure if like if no, I feel like for all CJEPs it was all like that. Yo, for the first week everybody was trying to talk to each other, right? Like everybody was trying to like
And
make new
CJs,
connections.
yeah.
But then eventually like the most you're gonna make is just a few friends that you guys just talk about. Or
Yeah.
like you just make like a few like surface level friends that you guys just talk to, just related to school.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to friends, I'd say like I consider you guys, like you guys are the people that I talk to outside of school, but the friends I made in school, there's actually none of them that I would actually genuinely want to hang out with like outside of school.
Outside of school,
And
yeah.
the only time I ever go up to them and talk to them and like dap them up is when we just talk about school, like anything
Mhm.
school related. I think there's only one guy that I feel like I could talk to outside of school. Is like this guy called Mahuan. It's like this guy that used to go to Desox, and like he's pretty chill. But yeah, yo, other than that, like yeah, like how
Just
about you?
school
Like
friends, yeah.
yeah, how was your experience like in Jagodin?
And Jagadan, to be
Yeah,
completely honest, like yeah, I think it's even less than you about
yeah,
like school friends and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like there's been a couple times where like I've talked to people and stuff
yeah.
like that a little bit, but hasn't been anything like meaningful.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and I feel like especially as you get older, because yo, the thing is that yo, you're gonna meet like especially in Janami, you're just gonna meet a lot of people that like yeah, it's just like the relation, like the friendships that you make are really like in a way like low key kind of meaningless. Like
Yeah.
of course like, you could, it's like good because it's like in a way you guys can help each other out with school and it's good to have connections. I remember, yo, you remember like back in Sec 5 I used to say this a lot. I was like, yo, I'm actually excited to go to John Abbott. Yo, like I'm gonna be able to make like meet a lot of new people and like meet a lot of like-minded people that have like that have like similar they have like similar interests and like a lot of connections. That how that Yeah, that, or like just like make a lot of new connections and just network. But I've realized that like yo, a lot of them like I would actually never want to actually truly hang out with. So yeah, yeah, yo. So okay, yo. But next question though, because we were touching upon this. We were touching on this. No, it's not recording.
Oh, it's not quick.
No, no, we're gonna film it after. But yo, like we were touching upon this like earlier when I asked the question about like related to high school. When I asked the question about high school, but yo, like just this is a question I asked not only related to high school but just in life in general. Yo, do you have any regrets?
In life in
Yeah,
general.
just in general.
Hmm. But yeah, other than like the
Yeah.
thing I said about high school, like when I was in sec one, but uh, probably to just be like, yeah, it's gonna come back on like what I said before, but just to be more open
Yeah.
to everything and try to make the most out of everything.
Yeah.
Like, don't be always so be
Yeah.
negative and stuff.
Yeah.
Try to make the most out of everything.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, yeah, that's a good question. Yo, for me personally, I would say like, yeah, I don't know. For me personally, yeah, that's one thing I'd say. Like the only regret maybe I'd say is yeah, just to be more open and not like block my blessings. There's so many people that like if I was a bit more open to, maybe I could have met and we could have like I don't know like made like lifelong friends.
Yeah.
But the thing is that at the same time, I'm happy with the way that life turned out right now. Especially because think about it, we wouldn't be in this exact. It's like it's a bit like the butterfly effect. Like
Yeah.
like if we didn't take the exact decisions that we made today, we wouldn't be in this exact position having this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Like even like so that's why in a way like because of the butterfly effect, I wouldn't say I have any regrets. But maybe the only regret, yeah, is like not really opening up in high school.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's my me personally my own regret. And so also like talking about just music taste, because we talked about K-pop, but like also one thing that we gotta touch upon is also Drain Gang.
Dream Gang, yeah.
Yeah, Drain Gang. So um, for you personally, what are your top three Drain Gang songs in order? Like whether between Echo 2K, Typeway Digital, and Blade.
In terms of song that I listen to the
Yeah.
most, it's tough
And
to say because there's so many.
yeah,
There's too
and
many.
also before you answer this question, how did you even get into it? Like, what
Yeah,
would you say was
it's
like the
kind of
first?
similar to how I got into K-pop
Yeah,
and like not reels and stuff
yeah,
apart from that, but like remember it started when we were going back from the gym
yeah,
once, and I think that was like also the first time we went to get like to Costco because we're on
yeah.
the tradition.
Oh yeah, yeah, the tradition.
We're on our way back from getting like the Costco pizza.
Yeah,
I remember I was in the front and you asked me to play something
yeah,
because I had aux, and that
yeah,
was back when like it wasn't even Bluetooth.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you had
yeah.
to
Back in
plug
the
in
Ochi
something,
days.
and you asked me to play peroxide. It's
Yeah.
crazy thinking about it now, but in that moment, I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this shit?" Like me and Ed were both agreeing to it and everything. We were like, "Yo, this is really bad."
Yeah,
And yeah, I remember the I don't know how you call it in English, but the cérémonie des toches.
yeah. Or graduation ceremony.
Yeah, yeah, our graduation ceremony. Yeah, like I remember before going there, I decided to listen to it again, and like
Yeah,
I kind of like started enjoying it a
yeah,
little bit. Oh no, even before that, like had a little understanding of
yeah,
like drinking through like TikTok and stuff
yeah, yeah,
because of like "Be Nice to Me"
yeah,
because
yeah. Oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
like I feel like that's the most like
yeah,
mainstream song,
yeah,
and also a bit of like reality surf. Like I would hear
yeah.
it sometimes on some TikToks, like audio. But apart from that, like I didn't really know anything about
Mm.
drinking. But then after that, like I started to go more and more into it
Yeah,
and like enjoying it more and more.
yeah, yo, that's good. Yo, I remember for me personally, my introduction to Drain Gang, I remember it started off with me first. Back in Sec 4, I remember like back in science class, me and Dexan would just be sitting in the back of the science class just listening to music. We'd be
Yeah,
sharing an AirPod. And this guy was putting me on to a lot of Drain Gang because I think he got introduced to Drain Gang by Lucas.
yeah,
And then after that, like I remember I was listening to it, and then after that, like I was really trying to enjoy it, but like my ears like weren't adapted to it. Because it's really like an acquired taste. And I really didn't enjoy it, but also it's because back in Sec 4, my music taste was just Don Toliver and Lil Tecca.
yeah,
But then eventually, I remember I just and like that was the exposure that I got, and then eventually we just stopped listening to Drain Gang. We just started listening only to K-pop, and then eventually, like I remember back in Sec 5, for me personally, it wasn't even through TikTok or Instagram Reels. It was purely just through YouTube. I remember I got the recommendation like Echo 2K Peroxide, the music video, and I thought it was just really unique. I thought it was really unique the music video
mm-hmm.
because you know how he was in he just has a little raft
Yeah,
and then you just see like the what's it called like the windmills or whatever
yeah, yeah.
or like the energy alien and then he was just on the raft and what I like because it was such a cleanly shot music video and I feel that it really represented the song in a way.
Yeah.
It's just like like and it represented like the basically I feel the entire album as a whole because you know how E was like it's a like it's an album with a lot of layers. Like you don't like if you look at it from a surface level, it can look kind of be trash. But if you really listen to the
Mm-hmm.
lyrics and listen to the way that he really puts his soul into the entire album,
Yeah,
you could tell it's like a search for identity and like his battle with drugs and all of that.
yeah,
And in a way, you know how in like this is my theory. Maybe he meant to do this on purpose, or maybe he just did it because it looked nice. But bro, like you know how there's like drone footage and you can see like the big windmills in the middle of
yeah.
the ocean, and then he's just on a little raft.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yo, like I feel like that in a way was that like it was just representing the fact that like how he felt like so
isolated.
yeah he felt so isolated and he felt like just so in the middle of nowhere and he felt so lost
Yeah.
and even like yo like I remember there was even at one point there's a little scene where he took a like a full canister that was supposed to be oil. I'm sure it was just filled with water, but bro, there was like a full canister of oil. I'm not sure if you saw it. It was like a little like frame. but like
Mhm.
he started like just
Drinking.
opened it and he just started drinking it. But I feel like that was in a way like a representation of how like at one point like he hated his life and all that.
Hmm.
So like maybe it's just in a way like his it's like the way that like he drank that is like supposed to symbolize maybe like if he like ever like like inflict like self inflicted like pain on him like
Yeah.
it was meant to represent that. Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So like yo, what are the top three Drink Gang songs though?
Top three Dream Gang
Yeah.
songs. You gotta put Reality Surf on there
Yeah.
for sure. Um, it's tough, yeah. But
Mm.
Reality Surf. I feel like Peroxide has to be on there.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, Peroxide.
Like even though it's like the most mainstream song,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's still. I feel like it's famous or
Yeah.
like.
No, but that's I'd say the more
Listen.
most mainstream is 100% like yeah, be nice to me. What is it called?
Yeah, yeah,
Be
yeah,
nice. And also Western Union
yeah,
and also Reality Surf. Those are like really to get into. But yo, if you want to actually really become a Drink Gang fan, you have to like, yeah, Peroxide is actually the most like that's like when you're entering like the cave.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But just talk about Reality Surf.
Yeah.
Like it's a song like I really came to enjoy. Like every single
Yeah.
time I listened to it,
Yeah.
like I enjoyed it more and more.
Yeah.
Cause remember at some point when I was listening to the song, like the lyrics were like speaking to me in a way.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
like I don't know, cause I remember it at the beginning it was like a phase or like a
Yeah.
transition process. Cause at the beginning, like you don't really understand what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just like think it sounds nice, so like
Yeah.
you enjoy the song, but
Yeah.
then you start to notice more and more like what he's actually saying.
Yeah. And it just is different, bro.
Yeah,
And that's what I like also about a lot of Drink Gang music is that it's so deeply layered. Like the way that they make the music, yo, you might not enjoy it the first time, but the more you listen to it, the more you enjoy it.
yeah,
And yo, you could just listen to it through so many periods of your life, and every single time you listen to it, I feel like it has a different meaning. That's what's like. It's like that's what makes the music so good. But yo, okay, but what's your? So you said Reality Surf. You said um Peroxide, and what's your last one though?
this is really really tough, but
Is it Malhor Freestyle?
um,
It's okay. It's okay. The lapel mics didn't
but
pick up on that.
I remember you also really liked the song.
Yeah.
You put me onto it in the
Yeah.
beginning, but it was In the Flesh.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed that song though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like whenever I listen to it, like it, I don't know, it's just like it's beautiful. You know?
Yeah, no, it actually no that because yo, not only the E album, but yo, the PXC album too is such a good album, bro.
Yeah.
And I feel like when it comes to overall like the raw emotion and in the flesh, bro, everything was composed so perfectly, like from the instruments to his voice and all that. And yo, like for me personally, my top three, we already share the same like two out of the three. For me, it's Peroxide and In the Flesh. Because Peroxide were all I already showed. I remember I sent you a screenshot. It was the most listened song I had, and I'll even wait.
Yeah.
I'll look real quick. Um,
Yeah, but it's tough just making a top three because there's
Yeah,
so
one,
many
two,
songs
three.
that I left out, bro.
yeah,
Because even girls just want to have fun.
yeah. Girls just want to have fun. Yo, okay. To be honest, okay. Now I listened to it 132 times. Like,
Peroxide.
yeah, Peroxide this entire year, and I started listening to it in the summer.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's been like a lot. I listened to that a lot. So I'd say Peroxide. I'd say In the Flesh, and yeah. To be honest, you already mentioned. Actually about to say Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
That's your number one.
Or yeah, no, like I'd say no. My number one though, In the Flesh. Number two, Peroxide, and number three, there's this PXC hidden track. Did you
Oh
listen to
yeah,
that?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, that's one of my. That's
It's
such a good song.
good, yeah.
And it's so crazy to me that he just put that on a CD. Like he
Yeah.
just put out like a CD exclusive. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, but yo, now that we mentioned K-pop and Drain Gang, like when it comes to music, now I want to ask you this question though to just bridge it all together. Because yo, out of all the groups, you'd 100% say out of all the K-pop groups, you'd probably say that New Jeans overall is like probably the best.
Yeah,
group, right?
for sure, yeah.
Because yo, they just have such consistent music. Like yeah, every single one of their songs,
Every single
like,
song
is
is
actually
like
really good.
really good, yeah.
So yo, would you rather have, and both of these are free, keep in mind. Would you rather have a full backstage experience with New Jeans or front row seats at a Drain Gang concert?
Backstage experience with New Jeans.
Yeah, like you get the concert, you get front row, backstage, you get to meet them, talk with them.
But I don't get to meet Drake Gang.
Yeah, but but you get front row seats at a Drain Gang concert. But yo, like if like maybe I don't know, you do something crazy, maybe they might notice you.
That's true because you're close to them.
Yeah,
so-
you close to them. Yeah. So yeah, that's what yeah. Because if you have to meet Drain Gang, of course you're gonna choose the Drain Gang, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
but that's the thing, like yeah. So what would you choose? Both of them are free.
Both of them are free. It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really tough question, but um, I don't know. I feel like just like meeting like a famous group like
Yeah.
backstage is something that you can't like pass up on. No.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Because at the same time, a Drain Gang concert is always gonna be there. But backstage though, like yo, you
Yeah.
gotta actually be like VIP of the VIP
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
VIP.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's a pretty good choice, yo. To me, yo, for me, I can't lie, I would actually choose backstage too, because that was essentially like, when I wrote this question, I looked at the same answer too. I would like because front row seats, yo, if you think about it, if it's just one big mosh pit, like a lot, I don't think Drain Gang concerts there's really seats, no. It's mainly just buy a seat,
Yeah.
like it's called a seat, but after it's just a open like stage or like
Open space.
yeah, open space. So I would probably just come out like I'll just come like 3 hours earlier. I'll like camp
3 hours.
out even. Yeah, like I don't know, however long it takes. I need to be front row. Yeah, but yo, like, and also we just talked about this before too, like, because backstage in Eugene, that'll get me really hyped. I'll be like actually having like crazy amounts of fun. But like, we already talked about this before. But I feel like Drain Gang concert is the only place where like I'll be able to get really hyped, start a mosh pit, also cry.
Yeah.
Just how emotional it is. Cause yo, I already talked to you about this before, but this was just for the just for the record, yo. I remember there was this one time I was doing my calculus homework online, and I was listening in the background. I was just listening to In the Flesh, and that's a disadvantage of listening to music because sometimes if you listen to music, you just get too into the
I get
music
yeah.
and you just stop
You
doing
get
whatever
distracted.
work you were doing. Yeah, you get distracted. And yeah, I remember I was listening to In the Flesh, and I wasn't even like under the influence of anything, but I was just so into the song that I just started crying, just
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere. I just started fully crying, like just listening to In the Flesh, because bro, and it sounds crazy, because I feel like, especially for if you're listening to this at home and you never listen to Drain Gang, if you listen to In the Flesh, you're probably gonna be like, yo, what is this?
Yeah.
Or once your ears get tuned to like really understand
Enjoy
the
it. Yeah.
music, like,
I'm gonna enjoy it.
bro, Echo 2K, it's crazy to me that I live in a generation, or like I'm able to live in a society where I could actually experience that for free. Because also, that's also what I think about too, like when it comes to music, think about it. You know how we have our AirPods and we have our speakers, and we just have our phone and all that. We can listen to music whenever we want, wherever we want,
Yeah.
because we already have data too. But bro, think about actually being like, imagine how amazing it would have been to actually live during like when like people like Beethoven were still alive.
Yeah.
Like bro, imagine actually like barely hearing music in your life, and then you go to like a concert, like a Beethoven concert, bro.
Yeah.
Like yeah, and like Beethoven's your favorite artist, bro. Imagine how crazy that would be. So like that's why, and also this is also just kind of off topic. That's also why, as of late, whenever I listen to music, I don't listen to music whenever, because sometimes like I go through stages where like I keep on listening to music like the entire day, and then I get tired of whatever music I listen to, no matter how good it is,
Mm-hmm.
because constantly just my ears are just getting bombarded by like music.
Yeah.
But that's why sometimes I go on music detoxes. Like I don't listen to music for like an entire day or two, and then I listen to it and it just is different.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro. Like, and yeah, that's just how it is. Like, I feel like it allows you to appreciate music a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever consider going on a music detox though? Or, like, do you like?
I feel like I already do that. Not
Yeah,
that like I do it with the intention of doing it. I think
yeah,
I just do it like subconsciously.
yeah,
But there are some days where like I go without listening to music, or not that I don't enjoy the music,
yeah,
but example, like sometimes I go to the gym
yeah,
and like I try to put on my AirPods,
yeah,
but like I just find that like I'd rather just not do it
yeah,
without any music.
yeah. Sometimes too, yeah, and especially when you're just going to the gym with another person, the conversation is really nice.
Yeah.
At that point, you rather just take it out, like just take off your headphones and just talk to them. Yeah, but yo, okay, now next question though. So and yo, also by the way, because I have a few questions, but like I just wanted to mention this before, yo, would you be comfortable talking about like any substance use during this podcast, like any of your experience or no?
I don't mind.
You don't really mind? Okay, now I'll ask this question then. So yo, if you're comfortable, of course, could you dive more into detail on what happened with that shroom trip you were talking about at Babylicious's birthday party? Remember that one time like we're in the backyard,
Oh
it was me,
yeah.
Dangsano, and then you're talking about like the shroom, because yo, that was I was actually really curious about.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was like a I think I just ended up doing way too much.
yeah. No, I still remember that, didn't you? Because I saw the shroom. I remember it was like when we were walking during lunch.
Yeah.
It was like the biggest shroom I ever seen. Yo, like, It was abnormal. You're like,
Yeah.
it must have been on steroids or something like
Yeah.
that. True must have been on steroids. You're like,
Yeah,
it
that
was
was straight
crazy.
from like hell, bro.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I think I mentioned this already like a
yeah,
lot of times, but it was like a really bad experience for me.
yeah,
But bad in the way that it could some also be good.
yeah. It's like a
Because in the
lesson.
moment you don't realize that it's good, but in the
Yeah,
end, like it has like a positive outcome.
yeah,
But um, yeah, like I mentioned this before, but like I forgot who I was, or like I was, I remember I was like during the trip, I was
yeah,
trying to figure out like who I was again. Like I
yeah,
forgot, like, and in the moment when I was walking back home, um, I was like constantly reevaluating everything, like when I
yeah,
was walking back.
yeah. Yo. Okay, no, continue, continue.
Um, that's pretty much it. Yeah, but um, yeah, it just wasn't a good trip for me.
Yeah, but yeah, because I remember, didn't you mention the fact that like for like it felt like it was a whole month that you had to relearn yourself, something like that, or like a
Yeah,
few weeks.
it's like you in the moment, like it got better like progressively, but still like there's like that type of thing like stays with you for a bit,
Yeah,
and like you still try to like you still think about it,
yeah,
in a
yeah,
way. I think it's called like an ego death.
yeah, yeah. No, I heard about that too. Yo, but like, what would you say? Yeah, what would you say? Because that sounds like actually like really tough to go through. But yeah, what would you say is the positive lesson though? Would you did that make you a lot more grateful for life in a way?
Positive lesson is to for me was that sometimes you just get so caught up in life
Yeah,
that you don't even really realize what you're doing.
yeah,
But that really, I think, um, in a way, I feel like it prevented me from
yeah,
becoming ignorant.
yeah,
Because when you're just constantly looking at yourself, like reevaluating everything,
yeah.
looking at yourself from
You
like an
you know it.
outsider's
Yeah,
view,
you in
like
a way like
thinking about
rebuild
things.
yourself,
Yeah,
reinvent yourself.
basically, yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
So did you ever go through a mushroom trip?
Yeah, no, yo, for me personally, I remember the only time I was actually considering like actually realistically doing it was I remember you remember when we had those plans to go camping, like
Yeah,
all the boys. I was actually considering taking it, but at that point, like after like we ended up never actually taking like coming to fruition, like the camping trip plans. I like Loki just forgot about like just shrooms as a whole. Like I never really thought about it. But yeah, yo, in the future I'd be down to be honest, yo. But like I feel like I just, but at the same time I heard through you guys like you, Dangsano, Baby Sano also. You said like you could just never be ready for it. Like it's just something you just have to take. Like it can't be something that you have
it's
to like
something. Yeah, I feel like,
you can't
especially if
mentally
you've
prepare.
never taken it before,
Yeah,
you can't really prepare yourself because you
yeah,
don't know what it is.
yeah,
So no matter like, it's the type of thing that you never know what it's gonna be like
yeah, yeah,
until you actually do it.
yeah.
For
But
me, and
yo,
even in the same like mushroom trips
yeah,
that you do, like
like
one
it's
mushroom trip
different
can be completely different
than
from
the
like another
other.
one. Yeah,
Yeah. But yo, when it comes to like ego death or like forgetting who you were, I remember there was at the same time I'm sure like it wasn't on the same level of intensity or yeah degree of intensity as you. But I remember for me, like yo, there have some times too though. I remember especially when I was early, when I was it was really early into me smoking. I remember before, like when I smoked Zaza, there's like some times where like in the first, I'd say like one of like the first 5 times I've smoked. There's a time where I smoked like a lot, and I remember I don't think I experienced ego death, but I experienced like exactly what you're talking about. I still remember this. We were in after smoking, we just skipped school, and then after we just went to Jean we were just playing on the nets, like the basketballs,
yeah, yeah,
like the basketball nets, but it's like there's no actual net. It's just like the hoop.
yeah,
And I remember just like you guys were just playing. And all I remember is that me and you were just like we were just like what we were just standing up, just looking at them.
yeah.
And then eventually, but like I remember at that moment, yo, I was so zazzified to the point that like I don't think I experienced ego there, but I actually just forgot like everything. Like I was actually like an elitist. Like I forgot everything. Like I didn't even know what I
Yeah,
was doing. I didn't even know what was a basketball. I didn't even know why we were there.
yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even and you also the weirdest thing is also when you start not only questioning yourself, but
Questioning everything
you
else.
start questioning your friends too.
Yeah,
You like not in a paranoid way, but it's like humans. You got what I mean? Like that's the best way I could explain it. It's like you start to question like what even is a friend? Like what even like
yeah,
who even is
exactly. Yeah,
Parsa? Who even is Carlo? Who even is Amin?
yeah,
And you start even questioning yourself, like, yo, who even, like, what even is this world?
yeah,
And then eventually, but like, all I knew is that, like, all I knew, like, I was trying to keep, like, I was not trying to panic,
yeah.
but like, all, like, the only thing I knew is that, like, yo, I just had to walk home, like, I had to, like, actually get home,
Hmm.
like, to just relax. And I remember at that point, like I remember I said like, "Yo, guys, like I'm just gonna walk home." And I remember I just left. I left, and I walked home, and I don't really remember what happened after. I think I just went home, slept, and then I woke up, and then everything was fine. And I
Hmm.
remember there's another time too. I took like I smoked a lot, and on top of that, I took edibles. And there was another time where another time that happened again too. Like I just forgot. I just like lost like I just lost everything, and I forgot who I was. And I remember this was during examining fin d'année. Like when you just take exams and after you can just leave for the rest of the day. But it was during the summer. I remember it was during the the Metro concert.
Yeah.
Everybody was prepping. I remember I just like showed up, and then after that, after the exam, I think it was a Katsuri exam or something. And then after that, I just smoked a lot, and I took an edible, and then after that, I just went home. But the thing is that it was really nice weather out, so I just went on top of the like Westwood Hill,
Yeah.
and I just laid there, and I was just like thinking about. I was just really high to be honest. And as I was walking home, I was listening to Drake Jungle. Like you know that song, like walk slowly, just like the way we grow on me. Do you know that song?
I think if I listen to it, like I'll
Yeah,
remember it.
but no, I'll probably play it afterwards. But like so yeah, I was listening to that and I thought that it's one of Drake's best songs in my opinion. And like I remember at that moment when I was listening to it, I genuinely thought that Drake was talking to me. Like
Drake was talking to
I
you.
thought Drake was actually having a conversation with me, like I was talking to him and everything. But that's like the most
Yeah.
high I've ever been, probably like one of the highest I've ever been. Okay, but so like, but now like talking like just going to another like moving to another point, this is another question I have for you. So, what would you say throughout your entire life? What was the toughest period of your life and why?
Toughest period of my
Yeah.
life. I think there's either two,
Yeah.
but like the first one I'm gonna mention is I don't know if you guys remember, but in Sec 3,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I was in Sec 3. I was in like I just switched from
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Saint Anne
Yeah. For the time, Jean trois.
from like a private school, yeah, to
Yeah.
like a Jean 3, which is
Yeah.
like just like a whole other experience. Like I
Yeah.
was like but yeah, not only that, but like I was expecting to go into like regular,
Yeah.
but then I was in PE for
Yeah.
some reason. And then yeah, just throughout the whole year, I don't know if you guys remember, but like it was only really at the beginning that I was
Yeah.
going,
Yeah. And
and
then
it was like
eventually you just skipped all your classes, yo.
yeah, like I just missed out on a lot of
Yeah.
school. Like I missed out on like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like I was going through like depression throughout
Yeah.
that time, and yeah, that was like tough for me.
But yo, how were you able to recover from that? Like at that point, was there any? Did
Mm,
you actually ever go on medication? Did you ever go to the
no, I never
therapist?
went on medication then, but uh, yeah, I think it just eventually got better. Like it was summer, like school was ending, and I remember like I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I know like towards like the end of the year, for some people like they realize that their grades are like bad, so
Yeah,
like they try to lock in
yeah,
to like
trying to make
save
a
it. Yeah,
comeback.
yeah, but like I remember thinking about it, I was like towards the end, like I started feeling better, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I want to like redouble.
Yeah,
Then I was like, I just really didn't want that to happen. So like yeah, I just decided to lock in towards the end,
yeah.
and I just like yeah passed all my exams
Oh
and
my
stuff.
god. Okay, that's good. Yeah,
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 and but yeah, it got better around like the summer, spring, summer,
yeah,
and I was started to spend more time with outside with you guys, like
yeah,
going outside with my friends, my family,
yeah.
and that really, I think yeah, that really helped me a lot.
Mm. Okay,
That's how I
okay.
came out
Yeah,
of it.
that's good. Yeah, yeah. But for me personally, though, like when it comes to like hardest period of time, I'd say probably, to be honest, I'd say Sec 4 for me personally, because bro, you remember that whole thing that went on, the
Yeah,
whole situation. So even though I wasn't really a part of it,
yeah,
the thing is that like looking at it from another perspective, you know how like the our friend group was so divided, and then
yeah,
after
yeah,
it was like the whole thing that went on,
yeah,
and like I just felt bad, and I just felt like horrible just for everything, and on top of that, I was getting shreked in because like going from Sec 3 Mr. Montequito to like Sec 4, and I was in advanced math, advanced science, and like it was so like especially going from like COVID the in-class learning in Sec 4,
Yeah.
like, bro, there was so much pressure on, for me to perform. And I remember, like, yo, there was, and especially with, like I said again, like, the whole thing that went on with our friend group. Yo, I remember it just, like, just that whole transition period. I remember that, yeah, I was just going through a lot. And I remember it reached to the point it was so bad. I don't think I was ever diagnosed with like depression or anything, but I was like so sad to the point that, and I feel like it's especially like kind of crazy because you know how, especially how immigrant parents are.
Yeah.
So, you know, they would, like, for example, me, my mom would get mad at me if I was sad or like something
Yeah.
like that, like,
Or like,
or
would
like,
you like?
yeah,
Oh
like
yeah, would
mental
you have to
health.
be sad about it?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, but at the same time, I understand it from their perspective because they came from like
Yeah, yeah.
they like came
But they
from a whole
never know
different.
like what it's,
Yeah,
because it's a different world,
yeah,
right?
it's a different world. Yeah, but I remember at one point, like, she didn't even know what to do, and she was even talking to me like, yo, like, they actually need to like see a therapist. And, like, that's actually kind of crazy, like, coming from an immigrant parent.
Hmm.
But like in the end, yo, like, for me personally, how I got through it is, it's probably just the same thing too. Like, there wasn't a big shift. It just eventually got better, and also, during the summer,
Hmm.
and also it was, I feel like it was a good period of time because at the same time, like, during like Sec 4, like, the tensions were rising and all that. Like,
Hmm.
that whole beef that went on. I feel like even if that beef didn't go on, our friend group was gonna dissolve either way.
Hmm.
Because I don't, like, I'm not sure if you realized it, but like, like, with the whole, like, it wasn't only like external beef but also internal beef. Like, there were so many disagreements
Hmm.
going on with like all the boys. I
Yeah.
feel like in a way that, like, that was like a good reset because I feel like
Yeah.
our friend group probably wouldn't have stayed together.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that reset was actually really like healthy. And then eventually, I remember during the summer, like, I didn't talk to any of the boys for like months, and the only people I would talk to, I remember it was just JJ, Carlo, Adrian, and then sometimes DX, like once every like 3 weeks. And
Hmm.
then but nobody else. I don't think anybody else I really talked to. I remember during the summer,
Hmm.
but occasionally I would see you guys. But then eventually, I feel like Sec 5 we started slowly rebuilding, and then Sec 5 was, to be honest, a
Like
pretty
that
good
was a
year.
pretty good year.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty fun year, yeah, in my opinion. And also, like, when it comes to another period in my life, like, I'll say also what it would probably be like. It'll probably be because I talked about this with JJ, and also I talked about this with Danny Sana too. But like, yo, I'm not sure if you ever had this like rough period of time, or not. Yo, I feel like it's kind of random. This or it's kind of weird to like put it that way, but it's just like I went through this in Sec 5, but at the same time, like, I remember at this point it was like when you like started doing it less and less, and you even
Yeah.
you quit smoking. Yo, for me, I remember for me, yo, I was like, even though, even though I remember I learned mainly to drink Sano that, like, yo, if you get addicted to weed, it's not even like a physical thing. It's only mental. But
Yeah.
yo, like, I remember there's so many times, even though I never actually truly experienced withdrawals, but I remember I feel like I was looking at Zaza, like, even though like it was just like as a way to like all of the boys just just like bond, I'll say.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, bro, there were so many times where I'd just be showing up to class high, and even though like I didn't I didn't like it's not like all of it was bad. Like, we did have like a lot of funny moments and all that. At
Yeah.
the same time, I look back and I feel like in a way that was like me smoking that, like, to that extent. Because for me, for example, like, I still smoke from time to time. But yeah, smoking to that extent was so bad to the point that, like, I don't, to be honest, I didn't even know how I barely, like, I even passed everything. I was showing up to class like high every single day. And I remember I thought back then, like, yeah, that was just like how it was every single day. But yo, now that I'm in college, I'm looking back at Sec 5, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that we were smoking down, or not we. You like did it way way less. But for me, like, I was smoking so much, bro.
No,
And like,
maybe
I'm,
towards the beginning of the year it was
yeah,
like really.
yo,
Sorry, but yeah, it was really really bad as well. But
yeah,
I'm glad that
yeah. We just learned from it. It's like a
yeah,
lesson.
it's like a lesson.
Yeah,
There's so many things where I feel like you have to go through
yeah,
to
to
and
really
understand. No
understand.
matter how many times like people are gonna tell you,
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that you have to experience beforehand for you to actually understand.
yeah, and to really just grow from it, bro. Cause and like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm happy that I went through like what I went through, and yeah, like, I feel like it's, if I didn't go what I had to go through, it could have been like completely different. Like,
Yeah.
life could have turned out completely differently. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. Okay, yeah, but yo, so now, not to talk about another question, yo. So, and this is kind of an interesting question. I feel like we could talk about too. Um, and this is like the question that, like, I was trying to search for. Like, I forgot while I was in the car, but then I
Mm,
randomly remembered.
mm,
Um, so yo, so we both, and I feel like this is interesting too. So we both share the common fact that all throughout high school we never had a relationship slash significant other. Do you feel like you've missed out? in any way or not? On just like love in high school, like loving another person. Like, you feel like you missed out?
To an extent, no, because like that's like the only period of time.
Yeah,
That's like a period of time where like I feel like it would be different
yeah,
than to have like a significant other,
yeah,
like a girlfriend, like or wife, even
yeah,
like anytime else. But yeah, I feel like if I said that, I'd know, like that would be lying, because I feel like every guy wants like a girlfriend,
yeah,
like you think about it definitely,
yeah.
but it's not something that like
You'd
I'm
like,
sad or like depressed about
yeah,
or like I regret. Yeah,
yeah,
but it's just something I was like, okay, yeah, like
yeah, yeah,
it didn't happen, then
yeah. Then it's
it's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, yo, for me, I was thinking about it. Um, bro, like the thing is that, cause yo, we used to have talks about like relationships and all that back in high school.
Yeah,
And I remember we always we shared the same common answer, like, oh, like yo, if we're gonna look for something actually serious, we're gonna find it in college. Like, bro, like,
yeah.
yo, I really do not care about anybody in like college, bro. Like, and like, I feel like we're saying that because the thing is that at the same time, I would agree, like, yo, I can't lie, like, our level of maturity, we weren't like, because the thing is, especially coming from like a place like John 12, bro, like, there's like some like weird, like, there's some weird people, and the
Yeah,
things I wouldn't chase after a relationship in John 12, like, I would let it come to me,
for
but
sure.
the things that in a way, like, I feel like it would actually it would have been actually interesting though,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the
Yeah,
thing is that, like, yo, right now, like, to be honest, even
it's a different
at this period in my life,
thing.
yo, like, I really don't care whether or not I get into a relationship, because like I feel like there's a lot of things I want to do, like for example this podcast, also the whole book thing, and also just like B14,
Hmm.
and just like there's so many things I want to do, and like I feel like I wouldn't have time for that. But in a way, like, yo, back in high school, because it's like touching back upon what we said in the beginning of the podcast, like, yo, just like being more open.
Yeah,
Yo, I feel that like in a way, yeah, like I could have like, I feel like in the past I could have like in high school, if I had to, this is also something too. Like, if I had to give advice to like my younger self, I'd say yeah, to just be more open and to in a way just put yourself out there. Because
yeah,
even though like because also my main argument, if you were to ask my high school self, I'd say like, oh yeah, I wouldn't want to get into a relationship, because the thing is that, and especially in high school, because yo, if you break up, it's gonna set you back like so far back. Because I learned through JJ, because you know how JJ had a high school like a
girlfriend.
high
Yeah,
school yeah a relationship in high school, and eventually he broke up with the girl, or they broke up, and then eventually like he was actually pretty sad for like a while.
hmm,
The thing is that I took that as like a lesson, and like I used to talk with JJ, and like I remember like he said like, oh yeah, like I consider myself, and like you know how, like he's considered more older. I feel like
yeah,
he's like in a way like somebody you could learn from, like when it comes to relationships in high
hmm,
school. And I learned through that, and like subconsciously I placed it in my mind that like, yeah, yo, like if I find a relationship, it has to be something really serious. But now looking back at it, yo, I feel like low key, like just maybe for like just like the experience, maybe I would have like, it would have been interesting though, at least.
yeah,
Like you said, it's like I don't really mind. It's not something that like I'm depressed about.
yeah.
But it's like, yo, if it would have happened, then like, yo, it would have been
That would have been
interesting. It
nice.
would have
Yeah.
been interesting, yeah. Okay, so and also yo, so next question too. So if you could have a conversation with anybody in this world, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Mm, this stuff I want to go for like a dead person for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
but like at the same time not someone that's like too ancient.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
I have nothing in
yeah,
common with. Because at first I was thinking about like okay maybe like an ancient Greek philosopher or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that, like
yeah,
Socrates or something,
yeah.
but it would be so weird.
Yeah, and you know it's kind of funny. I was talking about this with Soft Stereo. It actually was so funny. Like, cause think about it. Like, they live in such like completely different eras.
Yeah,
And I remember there was this like Instagram video that I saw, or Instagram reel. It was like this guy that like handed a person like a drink, and the caption was like, "Oh, when you hand a caveman like a McDonald's Sprite." And then after that, like, like the audio was just like a guy like screaming or going crazy. Like think about it. Yeah, imagine like even like back then, like imagine giving somebody like a McDonald's spread or giving any food now.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
imagine how crazy that'd be, or just talking to them about like social media or whatever. Like
Yeah,
imagine how hard that would be.
it'd be hard to like find
Yeah.
common ground or
And
something.
also like when it comes to philosophers too, yo, have you like I'm not sure if you've ever read any of the ancient books. Like I remember the first book I ever bought from my like library like bookshelf. I remember it was Plato the Republic. Like it was Plato,
Oh
like
yeah,
a philosopher that wrote the book. And I remember I was reading that because like PewDiePie did a book review on it, and it was actually really interesting. And I wanted to get into philosophy for a while. So I was like, yo, maybe this is my time. So I bought the book, and yo, the way that they write in the book, even though it got translated for us, like for modern people, like today, to understand,
Yeah,
because you know, like back then the language
it's
was really
tough to
different.
understand.
Yo, it was so hard to understand. So imagine talking to an ancient Greek philosopher now.
Yeah,
Like they would have been talking like like Yoda. No, he
yeah,
talks like really weirdly. They would
yeah,
have been that, but like times five. It would have been such an unproductive conversation. Like to be honest, like unless I knew Greek or something. If I knew Greek or I knew their
yeah.
language of
Just putting
origin,
aside the
language
like
barrier.
language barrier. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
No,
Language
no, no,
barrier.
no. But like, yeah, but just putting that aside, even like putting that aside,
Yeah,
like it would still be so difficult to have like a conversation with
yeah,
them because
yeah,
like 3,000 years ago, how
yeah,
long ago was that? Like I
yeah.
don't know.
No, it's such a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's like before Christ, yo. Like
No,
that's
not 3,000. Maybe like
yeah, 2000.
2,500,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. But still,
yeah.
I think
But
it's so
yeah,
difficult.
yeah. But yo, if you had to have one though, a conversation.
Um, this is the type of thing that like I've thought about before,
Yeah,
but like I just can't come to mind. But like I know there's like a lot of people that have like be wondering, oh yeah, like if only I could talk to this person, like the secrets like
yeah,
he would be able to say.
yeah, yeah.
But like there's none that come to mind right now. But I don't know about how about you?
Yeah, no, to be honest, I'm actually pretty surprised you didn't say this. But we already talked about this in the car. If I could have a conversation with
Oh,
anybody,
Echo 2K.
yeah, Echo 2K. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
down to interview him one day, and yo, I still remember the promise. Yo, like when I get him, when I get to interview him, I'm gonna
yeah,
make
yeah.
sure you're there too. But yeah, it would be probably Echo 2K, and also there's already me and Danny Son already talked about this before. It'd 100% be a guy, a guy called Soul Illuminati.
Oh yeah.
It's like some spiritual. It's a 2K like NBA 2K YouTuber that turned into like a spiritual YouTuber, and like like what I like about his spiritual channel is that like because a lot of spiritual channels they're really serious, but like what I liked about it is that and like I feel like what made him like garner such a big audience was the fact that like it was just a guy. It was like essentially like a think about it, a guy from a 2K community tapping into spirituality.
Mhm.
Like the entire like evolution process is so interesting to see because the thing is that a lot of people from spirituality they talk like and they're like really wise.
Yeah,
But bro, like this guy was just like some 2K YouTuber just tapping into spirituality. So like
yeah.
to
So
be
like
able to see that like the two worlds collide in like that same person and seeing his evolution is like so interesting and like he's even though he talks about a lot of serious things, at the same time he's still really funny. And like
mhm.
I'd really love to just like
is
have a
that is that
conversation
the
with him.
same guy that
Yeah.
remember you showed me this clip a while ago, but it was like Aiden Ross reacting
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah. Is that
Is it really that bad? Was he just trying
yeah.
to get rid of them? Was he serious then? Or?
Yeah, no, he actually was serious, yo. But that's what's so interesting. Like I wanna actually talk with him, yo, like have a podcast with him.
Yeah.
Because like, yo, this guy actually said, "Was it Hitler really that bad?" And then later I was like, "What?" And shit, he was like, "Yo, maybe he was just trying to get rid of these demons." And like, it's so funny that like, because if somebody send that to Aiden Ross's Discord so he can react to it,
Yeah.
and like, yo, the people that send that in Aiden Ross's Discord knows he's Jewish, yo.
Yeah.
So like, that was actually like perfect, yo. Oh my god, yeah, that's so funny. Okay, but yo, this is also another question though. Yo, so we both share the common habit of searching up random things on Wikipedia. What is your favorite period in history and why? Also, what is your favorite niche history fact?
mm,
So yeah, first start off like yeah, favorite period in history, like
favorite period in history?
yeah, just for like the things you learn.
For me,
It could be like World War II or like
yeah, I'd
why.
say it's like more, yeah, like World War II and like before that.
Yeah,
Like I know the Cold War is like interesting a bit, but like in the
yeah,
end, like ultimately nothing really happened.
yeah,
But just yeah, but like history like before that,
mm,
like I remember ever since I was like a kid in like
yeah,
7 or 8,
yeah,
where I really was interested in World War II.
yeah,
I'd like read books and stuff like that constantly
yeah,
about it. And yeah, like I really liked World War II and
yeah,
stuff. But yeah, I just really like that era of time a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. No, it's so interesting to think about, and specifically too. What's so interesting to think about? I remember they only really briefly touched about this in high school history. Yo, and because like the things that they're like towards the end, especially of history, they're just talking to us about like Quebec history, and it's like so boring.
Yeah,
But I remember like also too what I find so interesting is like every single country in World War II and like their battle strategies. Because like it was so interesting to see that like depending on which country with like their geological or geographical placement, like what battle strategies they would have. And
Hmm.
like also the most interesting thing too is like how Germany was like a country. It's like that. And just because they were so smart and their German engineering was so ahead of the time, they shreked like so many people.
Hmm.
Like during World War II. It's like so interesting to
Hmm.
think about. It's like it wasn't like some big. No, they back then they were like really big. Like they're one of the main countries, no. But
Or
like
what? But it's so what's interesting as well
yeah,
is the if you I don't know if you know a bit of like World War I history as well,
yeah,
but like because they ended up losing then as well,
yeah,
and they had like a whole Treaty of Versailles.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. And then they lost. They lost a lot of land. Or like
They
yeah,
lost some land and stuff like that, and they
yeah,
got like.
yeah,
But still, it's pretty interesting how they like bounce back from that, and like
yeah.
even through all of that, like
Yeah,
they
they still
still,
managed to.
yeah,
And I still remember one of the battle strategies too. Isn't it like their strategies is to like swarm? It's like
yeah,
they
the
first attack.
Blitzkrieg, yeah,
Yeah, Blitzkrieg. Like they go for the front, and then after they go like this, and they swarm you, and
in
then
circle, yeah.
yeah, and circle. Like that's actually really interesting to think about. Like, and every single like military has their own like way of attacking.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah, that's really nice. Yeah. Like for me personally, I'd say it would probably be because I always watch videos about this. I'd say it's probably World War II. I really like the whole battle strategies and like the military.
Hmm.
Like for example, how like Russia they had like the thing that's like they give up land. I've noticed a technique for it. It's like
Russia, oh yeah,
it's
scorched earth.
yeah, scorched earth. It's like they give up land and they backpedal in a way. It's like they give up land, but at the same time, like while they're pushing forward, since like the winter's so harsh
Hmm.
and all that, they target more like their supplies.
Yeah,
Anyway, something like that. So yeah, that's really
yeah.
interesting.
But also like another reason why
Yeah,
I like recent history
yeah,
more than like something like Middle Ages or stuff like
yeah,
that is because it's interesting to see how things
yeah,
back then affect the world. Like it really makes you understand like why some things are how they are like today.
yeah,
Because for example, like the whole how like the Middle East is such like an unstable region
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
But it used to be the most prosperous one. Like that's where civilization started, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like called the like the cradle of civilization
yeah,
because
yeah,
that's where like just around there like Greece and everything like that.
yeah,
Everywhere else was like yeah, there's like most of like the knowledge and like
yeah,
civilization was like from there.
yeah,
But it's if you understand history back then, like it really explains how like a lot of things today
yeah.
are like
All
for
right, yeah,
because um when the British like they
yeah,
defeated the Ottoman Empire
yeah,
like back in World War I, like they carved up the land and stuff like that,
yeah,
and the way they did it was like so bad,
yeah.
which like made is like it almost guaranteed like conflicts like today.
Yeah, no, it's a bit like yeah, no, that's true. No, like it's because they don't really understand the culture and
Hmm.
like the differences and like and all the people, so they just carved up however they want, and then yeah,
Hmm.
like they would just have like land disputes, no.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's how a lot of things like went through, like with a lot of like the. It's the same thing with India and Pakistan, no, something like that too.
Well,
Like the
India,
British Empire, like they messed up. I don't know. I'm not
they
sure.
divide and conquer.
No, no, no. But all I know is that British Empire, like they
Yeah,
also did it.
they've done some pretty messed up stuff like, around the
Yeah,
world. Like a lot of the problems we see here today, like are
yeah, they stem from
caused by
that.
it's
Yeah,
still like
yeah.
cause of that.
And also that this also kind of sad. Like also just to touch on history too, is just like the history of just Africa, about how they got colonized. Like that's
Yeah.
really sad because natural resources. Like when it comes to natural resources, they're the richest, but then after they just keep getting like Shrek. And
Hmm.
even nowadays, like I heard that like I'm not sure if you've seen it. I remember there's this trend on TikTok, but it's like really interesting to see. There's something called
It's
like
like
black.
slideshows
Yeah,
or
it's like
black.
slideshow,
Yeah,
blackout strike, something
yeah.
like that. But it's like talking about how like Africa, even now, there's still like
Just the
there's still
colonialism.
yeah, there's still colonialism. Like when a lot of
They
African
don't show
governments,
you explicitly, yeah,
yeah,
but like the governments, they're like so corrupt, and
yeah,
they're being corrupted
by
by
European
by
countries, yeah.
the same
But
European
it's so
countries. Yeah.
interesting because it's like, and also like yo, whenever I remember there's like the governor at one point, the government of Burkina Faso or whatever. Like this guy was really underrated. He increased the literacy rate and like education by a lot,
Yeah,
and
everything.
like
But
he
then
had
they
so
just
much
did,
potential.
yeah,
Yeah, and then after he essentially
assassinated
yeah,
him.
he got assassinated. Like every single governor that actually does well somehow just coincidentally keeps getting assassinated or dies in weird ways, and then the governor right after ends up being really
Really,
corrupt and
really
weird,
corrupt.
and like they end up having ties with like a European country.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that that's like also really kind of that's interesting and at the same time makes me feel bad. Like
Hmm.
that's like really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, yo, and also okay, yo, also when it comes to favorite niche history fact, like what is like one like just fact that you find interesting, like just in
There's
history?
just so much. But I remember one thing that comes to mind
Yeah,
recently. is this was recent, but I
Yeah,
was like doing going on Benito Mussolini's like
yeah,
Wikipedia page.
yeah,
I don't know if you know. There
yeah.
was
No,
like the
is the fascist creator of fascism? No.
fascism. Yeah, he was the leader of Italy
Yeah,
during World War II.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like I there was like I read about his son. He had like a
Yeah,
son with his first wife, and just like I don't remember everything that
yeah,
he was saying here, but so much shit happened to him. Like I mean, like his first wife because they got divorced or something like
yeah,
that, and he was trying to erase like everything.
yeah.
But yeah, like so much bad shit happened to him. Like it really makes you feel bad because like they like they killed his mom or something like that.
Wait, who? Mussolini's mom?
Yeah, no, the kid's mom or like his wife,
Oh,
his first wife.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and they're trying to like erase like all like traces of him being like
Being born.
yeah, or like any traces of him or like links to him
Yeah,
to him. So like they gave him to like another person or like one of his close like friends of Mussolini.
yeah.
Like still like he kept on like insisting that he was his son, or and he ended up getting into like an insane asylum and he just died there like after 2 years. It's
So
really
he
sad.
wasn't even crazy, but he just put him in a insane
Yeah,
asylum
insane asylum is
just for being like an illegitimate. Like no, it was a legit son, but he
he
just like
was a
was
legit
embarrassed.
son, but yeah, it was crazy. You can search him up later because I can
Yeah,
search him up right now if you
yeah,
want,
yeah.
but like it's
No,
really
switch it
crazy
up.
what happened to him. You see, oh his name was, but so yeah, Benito Albino. This guy was adopted by government agents and was told that his mother was dead. In 1931, he was adopted as an orphan at 15 by the fascist
Yeah.
ex-police chief of Monte. Initially educated at a Varnavai college.
Ada
Oh,
and Benito were officially described as dangerous to themselves and others, but hospital records that they both show that both were lucid. So it means
yeah.
that they were both fine.
He enrolled and always remained under close. He persisted in stating that Benito Mussolini was his father, and was eventually forcibly interned in an asylum, where he died on 26th of August
Yeah.
after repeated coma-inducing injections at
Oh
26.
my god. Okay, so so the injections were what's to cause them actually
Yeah,
like they actually cause them to be crazy.
yeah. No, they killed him or like
Oh, okay.
basically.
Yeah, no, but yo, that's actually so sad though. Like,
Yeah.
imagine like you just want your dad to just recognize you, and then Hattie's like, nah, like yo, you're
They
not my
threw
son.
him in an asylum by force, bro. It's crazy.
Then they injected him. I'm
That's
like,
one of the worst lives ever.
that's sad though. And then like now it's just like now you're just on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really sad. Yo, for me when it comes to niche history fact, yo, I just learned recently. No, but this isn't as precise as yours. This is just like something that because
More big.
also what I find interesting too, because I watched a K drama about it. It's a K drama called Mr. Sunshine. And also, I'm not sure if you're really tapped into this part of the history. But you know, like I'm not sure if it was between World War One, between World War Two, like during what period of
Korea?
time. Yeah, but you know, South Korea or like
Or
back
just
then
Korean,
it was
yeah.
just Korea because there
They
wasn't
got
North and South.
colonized
Yeah,
by
but yeah, it
Japan.
was so interesting to think because they were so when it comes to technology. I watched this full K drama, yo, like because they strategically they have a really like good placement because they're on a peninsula.
Hmm.
They're like surrounded by water, so that's really smart. Like when it comes to like trade and all that,
Hmm.
like naval warfare and all that. But you're like yeah, so like it's really interesting to think about that. Yo, like the last dynasty was the Joseon dynasty, and the fact that yo, like Japan, like it wasn't only China that came in to try to colonize them, but also Japan and the US, and everybody was just fighting. And Joseon dynasty, like they were like the weakest, they were like one of the weakest like back then, but they just kept getting shreked.
Hmm.
And also like during one I'm not sure if it was during the Joseon dynasty, but like there was like one emperor that apparently like he like there's this one emperor that kept getting like even though he was the king, and you know how back then like the word was absolute, like if you got like if you caught mocking the king you could just get killed if you like
Yeah.
if he was if the king really didn't like that. But you're like apparently there's this king, I forgot his name, but yo, like I learned that like apparently there's this king during like during these times that like even though he was the king and he was supposed to be well respected, like a lot of the there's people that would follow him that would be wait there would have like historians
Hmm.
like back then that would, and their entire job was essentially just to like right, like whenever there was any trades or anything, like any political or any diplomatic relations that were going on, there's like there was historians in the government, like in the government rankings that were, and their only job was to write history.
Yeah.
And during the Joseon dynasty, this guy, like, even though he was supposed to be well respected, this guy would, like, he would always try and cover up like these little like embarrassing mistakes that he would try and do. But the historians at that time, they would always try and write down no matter how embarrassing it was. And apparently there was this one time that, like, he was on a horse and this guy just fell down. And then after that, like, he was really embarrassed and got mad at everybody. And like he essentially just blamed everybody but himself. And then he said specifically to his historians, like, yo, don't write that down. And
And they
after
wrote
that,
it down.
yeah, they wrote it down, and they even explicitly said, like, oh yeah, like,
He said not
the
to say.
yeah, the guy said, like, the king said not to write it down, but we still wrote it down anyways. It's like that's just like
That's
one thing I
crazy.
learned recently, but that's like pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yo, like, yo, so it's 1 minute and one, I mean, 1 hour and 5 minutes in, yo. Like, this was actually like a really good podcast, yo. This is really good for like our second episode. And yeah, you're like, after right after this, you guys are gonna see this in the beginning of the video, but we have like a little music video we'll shoot. And yeah, you're like, do you have any last words?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, yo. Like, yo, we're gonna also, this is only like the part one of yours. Like, technically in the
Oh,
future, like a few years down the line, especially even when you get Echo 2K, like, we also gotta hop on
yeah.
like back on the podcast, and even like another podcast just you, like, in the future too. Like, we gotta do like an update too.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Thanks
yo.
for having me.
Yeah, yo. So like, yo, this is the second episode, yo. Like, thank you guys for listening to the entire thing, and yeah, yo. See you guys in the next episode, bro.
All right.
Yeah, bye.